Hi, Joe Barton here, and I'm with Dr. Scott Saunders at the Integrative Medicine Center in Santa Barbara. And I wanted to talk to you about acid reflux and ask you a couple of questions. So, acid reflux is a digestive issue. What are the symptoms beyond just the heartburn? What other symptoms are there?
Well, people sometimes get squeezing sensations, gas, bloating, and then burning in the chest.
So, what are some traditional treatments that someone might find from a traditional doctor for that?
Well, that's really interesting because the traditional treatments have been some of the #1 bestsellers of all time. Things like Zantac and Prilosex have been very popular because this is a very common problem.
So what are some of the problems with those treatments?
Well, one of the major problems, they've just done several studies that indicate that the things that reduce acid also reduce your absorption of calcium and magnesium and cause osteoporosis, among other problems.
So there have got to be better treatments out there and remedies.
Indeed.
So first let's talk about the cause. What causes acid reflux?
Well, people often think that it's because you have too much acid, but most of the time that's not the case. Some people do make too much acid, but that's not always. Some people have low acid and they get more reflux just because the acid is going up into the esophagus more.
And so what are some natural remedies that you've seen that have worked for your patients?
Well, we use herbal remedies, things like licorice root, for example. We also use sometimes fasting. We have several people that do fasting once a week, for example, to keep their acid levels down. Some dietary changes are often helpful. If someone has inflammation from celiac disease, for example, then they're going to have more acid reflux, and so that varies.
Is there any correlation with eating pizza late at night?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And there are several other things. If someone has acid like late at night, there's a small amount of vinegar and water. There's all kinds of things to help that without destroying your ability to digest your food.
So we have a success story with us here, and I want to introduce Chris. If you could come over here. Thanks for being here.
You betcha.
And so share a little bit about your experience with the acid reflux remedy that you used that we've told you about.
Well, I had acid reflux really bad. I was actually coughing up blood, and I was hiding that from my wife for quite some time. I didn't know what it was, actually, and I was diagnosed with acid reflux, and I was prescribed Prevacid, I believe, or yeah, Prevacid or Prilosex, or I think it was Prevacid, and got a whole bunch of Prevacid from the doctor that prescribed that, and I actually didn't take any of it because I didn't want to medicate, and he told me that my doctor told me that, you know, this is probably what you're going to have to do for a long time. Well, ironically, I ran across the maybe not ironically, but I ran across the acid reflux remedy, and it changed my life. And it was just what I did was it was a couple of lifestyle changes that I made, and that it cured it for me.
How long did it take from the time you started the remedies until you noticed a difference?
Day, 2 days. I quit coughing up blood pretty right away. I don't think I coughed up any blood the next day, but I noticed that my throat, I had a sore throat for probably 2.5 months, and again I assumed that I had esophageal cancer or something. I didn't know. A lot of people that I knew really well that lived real close to us had problems with that, and I was really scared about that. And frankly, I just didn't want my wife to know, and I was kind of in denial and just really scared about that. But after a couple days, I noticed a huge difference, and I was able to swallow food better, and after 3 days, I mean, I was doing really good, and it probably, for my throat to heal up completely and so on and so forth, from what I remember, it probably took a couple weeks maybe or so, but yeah, it was awesome. So thank you for all the help. It changed my life, and yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm thankful, and that's why we do what we do, and to have a success story like yours to be able to share with others, and hopefully people will see that acid reflux is definitely something that can be taken care of with natural remedies, and it makes a huge impact on their life. So Dr. Saunders, you get phone calls every once in a while. People will see you're associated with refluxremedy.com, and they'll call and ask, should I buy this report, or is this legit? What do you tell them?
I tell them that they should try this before going to the doctor. I said, you know, you can pay to consult with a doctor. You can come to my office and pay me $200 to do a consultation, or you can start with that and do everything that's on the list. And if that doesn't work, you still may need help, but most of the time that takes care of it.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you. I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that you'll purchase a copy of the Reflux Remedy Report.